Josh was seeing the field real well. Our receivers were doing a good job of getting open and then making plays with the ball after the catch. Thought we protected better. We made some improvements defensively that were probably overshadowed a little bit by some of those runs late when we were playing some other guys. We had 3 guys unavailable to us today, Boss, Soso, and Laz, but I know those 3 will fight to get back for Memphis next week. So, like any game, there's some good things and then there's some things you need to improve on. We'll enjoy the win, but we'll go back and we'll be very, very critical of the way we played, the way we coached, the schemes we ran, and we'll do our best to get better. So, but you take wins when you can get them, that's for sure.
2 things. Josh Rosen really locked in from late third quarter, Texas A&M on. What's it like to see him? This is probably as good as he's played, I would imagine, this stretch here.
He's playing with since, like you said, about midway through the third quarter, consistency, and it seems like he's seen things better. And I think that's natural. He's worked very, very hard on this new offense to understand it. And every snap he takes, because he's a cerebral guy, because it's important to him, because he works hard, he's going to improve. And that's what we're seeing. So the key is to continue to approach it the way he has, with the mindset of every snap matters, every practice rep matters, every clip of film he watches matters, and we see that he's capable of good things when he does that. Yes, sir.
After Josh missed half the season last year because of a shoulder injury, what did you expect from him going into this season, and to what degree did he either meet or exceed your expectations after 2 games?
I can't say that I had any expectations other than he'd come back and try his best to be the best that he could be. In terms of performance expectations, there were none. It was just, come back and give everything you've got every day to try to be a great player for your football team.
How hard is it to evaluate the defense, given that you basically had half your starters out by the end of that game?
Well, I still think you have to look at it hard, and regardless of who's in there, are you doing things schematically correct? Are your players understanding what you're asking them to do, and are you putting them in the right place to succeed? So regardless who's in there, it gives you a chance to evaluate what you're doing, and then it gives you a chance to evaluate some of those players. Like, it was great today to see guys like Breland Brandt get some time, and guys like Martin Andrews get some time, and get Mossy in there, and get Will Lockett, some time, and Keon Riley some time, and Colin Samuel. Some of those guys that we're going to depend on, and we're going to count on. They're in the depth. They're guys that have to be able to play for us. So I think that every rep is a chance to get better, and it's a chance to evaluate ways to get better.
You had 2, one targeting play called against you, and one that could have gone against Kenny that wasn't called. Can you talk about those 2 plays and what you saw there?
Probably shouldn't. Yeah, I probably shouldn't tell you what I think.
How big of a loss, though, you won't have Josh Woods the first half of the Memphis game?
I think it's horrid. I think it's an awful rule, quite frankly, that you take a young man who's just playing football hard at full speed, and Josh is anything but a dirty player. He's not a dirty player at all. And he makes a clean hit. Things happen so fast out there. It happens so fast. Receiver catches it, he's coming down, so all of a sudden Josh hits him kind of high, and now you're going to punish this guy by not letting him play for an entire half. I think it's a terrible injustice, and I think it's a horrible rule.
Do you think the rule actually helps to
No,
keep
I don't think it deters anybody from anything. Those guys are out there, they're laying it on the line every down. Like I said, I don't think that college players go out there with the intent to play dirty or the intent to target. I'm not talking about just ours, I'm talking about college players in general. I think they like to play the game hard and physical in the way it's supposed to be played. And I think it's, the penalty, look, I can live with the penalty, but the penalty to the player of having him sit out an entire half, they only get 12 chances in college. It's an awful rule. It's a horrible rule. It's a horrible injustice to these young men that give so much every single day, bring so much to the universities, add to the coffers in the NCAA to ask them not to play because of a legitimate effort play like that. I don't like it at all, to be honest with you.
Coach, Josh Rosen hasn't thrown an interception yet. How much has he improved his ball security, and how important has that been for him elevating his game?
Well, it's critical, and his ball security today was a lot better because, last week he had the 2 fumbles, and not that they were his fault, but when the guy that's got the ball in his hands is responsible for securing it. So it's a constant point of emphasis for us, securing the ball in the pocket, securing the ball when you're out of the pocket, making good decisions with your throws. There's always going to be an element of luck, as we saw last week with a couple of those throws, but it's something that we constantly preach, and Josh has owned.
Coach, did they do something to take away Caleb Wilson, and was there adjustment to go to other receivers? And how is it to have like a lot of talent that you can spread it out like that?
Well, those guys, the receivers, and I'll tell, when I say the receivers, I'm talking about the tight ends as well. They played well, and not just in the pass game, but they've been blocking well. I don't know, I'd have to look at the film to see if they were doing specific to take Caleb away, but every offensive play is designed in such a way that depending upon what the defense shows you, there's a progression that you go through in terms of what receiver you're going to throw to. So obviously, whatever they were playing, the progression was taking Josh to someone away from Caleb, but then when Caleb was the guy, he made the catches.
Coach, I know you said that Sosa was out today, but what went into the decision to play Nate Starks more instead of playing Bolu?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. I didn't hear you. The first part, just repeat the first part.
Yeah, you said that Sosa was out today, so what went into the decision to play Nate Starks more than Bolu in the first half?
We play, players dependent upon a lot of things, how they practice, are they doing the right things within the program? Are they earning that time? And then do they fit in a certain package? What are we trying to emphasize with a particular package? So, all of those things go into every decision that we make with regards to what players are going to play.
The guys who went out today, Kenny Young, Adarius Pickett, Jaleel Wadood, is there optimism that they could be back fairly soon, or say at this point?
Yeah, I can't really say at this point. Okay, thanks everybody.